Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm very proud to be sharing with you SVS's brand new SB-1000 Pro subwoofer. This is clearly a trickle down of technology and replacement to the previous SB-1000. This features a Sledge amplifier, absent from the previous model, and the Bluetooth app-enabled setup, which is a great feature. Introduced in the higher models and now available in the 2000 Pro and 1000 Pro today. SVS is renowned for their subwoofers. There is no easier product to recommend and know that it will leave this shop and the customer will be vibrantly happy with than an SVS subwoofer. So it's wonderful that we get the opportunity to share this brand new model with you today. SVS's packaging. Very muted, brown box, black writing, bit of information on how to unbox it. On only one side is the scan information associated with the model and serial numbers. The rest is just an emulation and line drawing of what you might find inside. Most in New Zealand are pre-opened to ensure that the overseas power cords are removed and the New Zealand power cord added. So it's not unusual to see the original factory tape just a little bit more sort of tampered with. Nevertheless, we will be opening it in exactly the same way that you will receive it in your home. So, looking at the top, pretty obvious how we're going to open this, and it's a simple nick of the packing tape. It reveals some relatively new packaging as far as the closed-cell foam that's now part of what they do, and the manual and basic service information that is here as well. Taped to the top is a plastic bag, sellotaped closed, with information about a couple of things. Firstly, how to get the most out of it, how to use SVS's aftermarket wireless adapter. There's some product registration information and some basic sort of unbox information, and a cool little thing associated with some of the social media with SVS. Then in the corner, of course, we've got the New Zealand figure 8 power cord. It's unearthed, 2 pins, figure 8. At this point, because of its size, it's relatively easy to kind of get at it from a packaging perspective. So I'm going to lift out the closed cell foam, and as you can see, reveal the grill. Now the grill is a traditional hard plastic grill, acoustically transparent, with good sized sort of nuggety pins associated with being able to press that in. It's got an SVS logo, centre at the bottom. At this point, getting the unit out is relatively straightforward. You just sort of dig in and get your hand underneath and away you go. Revealing the basic packaging that remains in the base to ensure that it's keyed in and won't move in freight. Now, just landed off to one side is a large desiccant bag to keep this dry in transit. It's wrapped in a soft white bag to ensure that the desiccant can't scratch the product in transit. At this point, there's an oversized bag around the subwoofer, and it's sealed in the base. A simple nick allows you to take the bag off and start removing the additional sort of poly paper that protects the unit. We'll pause and have a look at the feet. It's interesting. The rubber composite materials that they use is designed to not only stop vibration from the subwoofer onto a hard floor, but also anchor it nicely into soft things like carpet. So it's wonderful to see that even the feet on this unit have been very well thought out. Rolling it over and getting rid of the last of the packaging, we get to see the SVS drive unit for the first time. This is a 12-inch high-excursion drive unit, this time obviously manufactured by SVS with the logo front and centre. The cabinet itself is, if it's a 12-inch driver, is only sort of 13 inches. It's the barest of minimum size around it to be able to support the workings of the drive unit. And it's wonderful to see such prestigious control of bass and the depth that it goes to in such a compact box. And I guess that's the sealed box sort of design from SVS and why they're so renowned in its category. You'll also see these curves. Now these are not by accident. When a cabinet is around such a large drive unit, you've got standing waves, you've got all sorts of vibration that you need to be able to deal with. And curves in cabinets actually help. They help with the construction, they help with the ability for that cabinet to minimize some of those standing waves and maximize the strength of the cabinet and its vibration. This model is in the sort of the black ash, which is that classic sort of melamine finish, and look, it sinks away in the background, so don't stress about its physics. It's not very deep, and that's really important. It's about as deep as it is high, and it looks sort of like a cube. It's at the back that we see a big departure from the previous model, the standard SB-1000. The SB-1000 had a series of dials, and these have been replaced with push buttons. It's also worth mentioning that it now incorporates SVS's renowned Sledge amplification. It's rated at 300-325 watts a channel, but it peaks at well over 850, giving you an understanding of how much real control and drive that this unit has. It gets down to about 20 Hz, and that's absolutely unheard of in its price, and certainly unheard of in the physical size of this. This is so small a subwoofer to be able to get down and grip and control properly some of the lowest frequencies. Okay, so at the back we have some of the boring bits, the figure 8 input, and a basic rocker switch associated with turning the unit on and off. We've got a bit of electrical information and an emulation of the scan code for model and serial number. Off to the side we've got speaker level input, and please hang around for some photographs. You'll see close-ups of all of those things. Having the dual inputs of speaker level and line allows the subwoofer to be used in a number of different configurations, and the musicality approach of the SVS brand to be able to come through as well. Above the speaker inputs we have a 3 to 12 volt trigger. This enables any number of external devices to power this product and turn it on and off, so that it's not relying on the automatic settings to sort of bring it to life during dynamic scenes. There is a series of inputs and outputs, so we've got a stereo pair input and one clearly labelled if you're just using it as the mono or LFE input from a home theatre amplifier. The emulation of input and output allow you to do a number of things, including link this through a stereo preamp or a processing preamp or something like that. Above it is 5 volts for the purposes of powering SVS's aftermarket wireless adapter. In the middle, this is the big change, as I alluded to earlier. Gone are the dials and the knobs, and now it's a sort of a push button. The idea is that you would download SVS's app, and look, you only need to use it once if you want to, but the app itself allows you to calibrate and change the volume and crossover of the unit from the comfort of your lounge chair. The advantage is, of course, it's you're sitting where you are hearing it and being able to adjust it from the same position. A huge advantage over that sort of jump up, tweak, sit back down and try and re-listen. You can hear those changes very, very easily. Because of the app-based control, they're now push buttons, and it's the ability to swap between the options using a push button to be able to change to between volume, phase, low pass, which then changes the blue lights that we see here and the adjustment of up and down. It's very, very straightforward to get the most out of, and a lot of fun once you sort of hit that sweet spot in your home. So there we have it. SVS's brand new SB-1000 Pro subwoofer. Again, about 300 watts, peaks at over 800, lots of power, lots of control, easy to set up, easy to get the most out of, and I'm very, very proud to have shared it with you today at the listening post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.